Christmas, Camp Calvary friends. This week we're going to be celebrating the birth of Jesus and some special friends that came to visit and the gifts that they brought baby Jesus. But first, I want to get to the gifts that I got you this week. Camp Calvary sent you in the mail a letter, and in there was a balloon. If you can take out this balloon, we're going to do a fun game together. So you'll need a parent and you will need to get your tape, okay? So not yet, Pastor Greg, but what we're going to be doing is blowing up the balloon. If you're allowed to blow up a balloon, you can. Otherwise, have your mom or dad do that for you. There we go. And I always have a hard time knotting it, but if you can't get it, again, ask a parent. So you got your balloon blown up. Also, this week, you got these things, a bunch of them in there. What we're going to do is tape them to your balloon. So I'm going to do one, and then, oops, stick it on there. And just tape them all over your balloon. Okay, so your balloon is going to look something like this. Next, what you're going to do is take your hand and put all your fingers together. And then you're going to need a parent or brother or sister to help you with this. He's going to put tape around the top of my fingers so they're all taped together pretty tight. And then he's going to go and tape my thumb too, because I don't want my thumb to be able to use it. So he's going to tape that at the top. I found that if I tape it more in the middle, I can still use my thumb. So, all right, that's pretty good. All right, guess what? We're doing it to the other hand too. So, tape at the top. What are we going to do? I don't know. This is going to be a fun game. I should race Pastor Greg. Should I do that with him too? Maybe we'll try that. All right, get that. Pastor Greg, do you want to do this game with us?
Yeah, I would love to.
Okay. Then we got to tape your hands too. All right, that's good, Pastor Greg. Very good. I can bend them like this a little bit, but I can't spread them out at all. All right. Okay, friends, it's going to be Pastor Greg and Miss Sue versus all of you. We have 10 seconds to unwrap this balloon with our hands. See once how many of these streamers you can get off and see if you can beat us. And we have a countdown. On your mark. Get set. Go. 1. Oh dear. 2.
Miss Sue.
3. 4. Whoop! 5.
Miss Sue is not helping me.
6.
Help me, Miss Sue.
It's hard to do. 7. 8. It didn't come off. 9. 10. Stop. All right. Count up yours. We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1's on the ground. 6. If you beat us, give yourself a pat on the back. If Pastor Greg and I won, I'm just going to go, woohoo, we won. It's fun to unwrap presents. What present are you excited that's underneath the tree that you're like, I cannot wait to unwrap it? Maybe on Christmas morning you can do your hands like this and unwrap all your presents. I don't think so. And now we're going to sing a song about that special baby. It's called What Child Is This?
What child is this who lay to rest on Mary's lap is sleeping, whom angels greet with anthems sweet, while shepherds watch our
Jesus is Christ the King. The angels celebrated his birth. The shepherds celebrate his birth. And we celebrate his birth too. We are going to learn our Bible point today. Are you ready? Every time I say we celebrate Jesus, I want you to take your hands and go, hooray, Jesus. We do celebrate Jesus, don't we? Hooray, Jesus. Oh, Pastor Greg, he's just in our show today. So as we celebrate Jesus, hooray, Jesus, Jesus came to show God's love to all people, rich or poor, young or old. Jesus is a gift for everyone. There is our Bible memory buddy. It's Olivia, the barn owl. Remember her? Olivia is kind of a strange creature. Barn owls are unique and interesting, and they're a beautiful bird, but let's see once how much you know about them. Here's a this or that, and you decide which is true. Barn owls, like Olivia, screech, and it sounds kind of something like this. Eee! Or do barn owls hoot? Hoo, hoo. You can come up with your own screech and your own hoot. What do you think? Do barn owls screech? Eee! Or do they hoot? Hoo. You do which one you think it is, and here comes the drum roll for our interesting fact. Barn owls screech. They don't hoot. Here's some more interesting things about Olivia the barn owl in our video.
Knock, knock. Who's there? Why, it's me, Olivia the owl. A barn owl, to be exact. We barn owls build our nests lots of different places, not just barns. Our nest might be in a tree, in a cave, or on the side of a cliff. Whoa! How would you like your home to be way up high? Usually, when you make an owl sound, what do you do? Do you hoo, hoo, hoo? It's true, some owls do hoo, but I'm more of a screecher. Hear that? It's me! Some describe the noise I make as a long, hissing scream. Wanna try? Make your best barn owl sound on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Eee! You're starting to sound like me. But can you move like I do? I bob my head and dance around sometimes, but I'm not really celebrating. I'm looking. You see, owl eyes are fixed in place. They can't move around like yours do. So I move my whole head all around to get a good look at my surroundings. Oh, there you are. In the Bible, some very wise people were looking too. They followed a star and searched for the newborn king. These Magi were scholars, people who studied a lot, and they had read about a baby king who'd be born in Bethlehem. And would you look at that? When they found Jesus, they gave him gifts fit for the King of Kings. God gave the whole world an amazing gift that first Christmas. In the Bible book of John, chapter 3, verse 16, it says, "For this is how God loved the world. He gave his one and only Son." We celebrate Jesus! Jesus is King of the universe. He was fully God and fully human. He's in charge of everything. And yet, Jesus didn't come to earth looking like a fancy ruler. There was no crown and no palace. Jesus came as a baby. He gave up everything to come be with us on earth. Why? Because God loves us and sent Jesus to be our close friend. So as you celebrate Jesus, maybe you can give up stuff for others too. You could let someone else play with your cool gifts. Or let a grown-up open their present first. Whatever you do, you'll be sharing God's love too. Merry Christmas! We celebrate Jesus! Hooray, Jesus!
The Bible is God's love story for us. It has the Old Testament, which is in the beginning, and that is where it's promising Jesus to us. And then the New Testament tells about Jesus' life on earth. Our Bible verse this week is from John 3:16. For this is how God loved the world. Take your hands, put them together. Put these three down, so you got just these guys out. Tip them, bend them in, so kind of your nails are touching, and put your thumbs together, and you made a heart. For this is how God loved the world. He gave his one and only Son. Pretty easy. Memory verse for this week. Our screeching barn owl, Olivia, is a great reminder that we celebrate Jesus. Hooray, Jesus! Jesus is king over everything, and he wants to be our friend. We're going to sing another song called Joy to the World.
Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing. He rules the world with truth and grace, and makes the nations prove the glories of his righteousness, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love. Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing.
look what I have. It's the gift that we sent you this week, but we're not going to open it yet. We're going to put that aside and open it in just a little bit after we dig into the Bible to hear the story about Jesus being born. Now, it took a long time for Jesus to be born. I told you about the Old Testament. That's the big books in the beginning. Guess what? They are all pointing to Jesus in the New Testament. There was a prophet Isaiah, and it took him over 400 years after he said, hey, Jesus is going to be born in the town of Bethlehem. 400 years later. That's a long wait for the king. But when it did happen, I'm going to read from Matthew 2, verse 1. Listen to what happens after Jesus has been born. After Jesus was born in Bethlehem, that's what Isaiah had predicted, right? During the time of King Herod, Magi from the east came to Jerusalem and asked, where is the one who is born King of the Jews? We saw his star in the east and have come to worship him. Oh, just like what was predicted. They came to worship him. They followed a star. Magi, what in the world is a magi? Well, the easiest way to say a magi is they're super smart and they know stars. They're astrologers. Yeah, that's what a magi is. So if you say, I'm going to grow up to be a magi, you don't hear that. I'm going to grow up to be an astrologer. Yeah, you know what it is. So they knew that this was a new star, and they knew to follow it to find baby Jesus, the king. But if you heard in my verse, there was another king, wasn't there? King Herod. King Herod did not like the fact that there was another king. And he wanted to find out where this baby was at. So he called over the Wisemen, the Magi, the astrologers, and said, hey, I want to go worship this new baby too. Tell me where he's at. Let's read what it says in the Bible about this. Then Herod called the Magi, those are the astronomers, secretly and found out from them the exact time the star had appeared. He sent them to Bethlehem and said, go and make careful search for the child. As soon as you find him, report to me so that I may go and worship him. Oh, so thumbs up or thumbs down? If you were the Magi, the astronomers, and you found baby Jesus, would you go back to King Herod and say where baby Jesus is at? That would be a thumbs down. The Magi knew this too. Let's read on and see what happens. After they had heard the king, they went on their way, and the star they had seen in the east went ahead of them until it was stopped over the place where the child was. When they saw the star, they were overjoyed. On coming to the house, they saw the child with his mother Mary, and they bowed down and worshipped him. Then they opened their treasures and presented him with gifts of gold and of incense and of myrrh. And having been warned in a dream not to go back to Herod, whoa, wait a second. So, dreams, remember we talked about that last week with Joseph? They had been warned in a dream, don't go and tell Herod, go a different way. They returned to their country by another route. So they kept Jesus safe. They were overjoyed and gave him gifts. So now I want you to take your little gift here and you may open it. So as you're opening your gift, today we still celebrate Jesus' birth by giving gifts to each other, just like the wise men did and brought gifts to Jesus. We celebrate Jesus. Hooray, Jesus, by giving gifts to each other. Hopefully you have it all open. Yes, you're right. It is a $2 bill. A lot of people don't even think these are real because they're so rare. It's the least favorite bill because there's not that many of them. You can do whatever you want with this. If you want to save $2 bills, you may. They're kind of neat. If you want to spend it on something, you may. I hope you enjoy it though. Today, we learned to celebrate Jesus. Hooray, Jesus! You learned it by Olivia, and our Bible verse, we learned it by the Magi searching for the Messiah, our rescuer. That's what Messiah means, our rescuer. And today we learned it by celebrating Christmas and giving gifts to each other. I cannot wait to see you next week, and enjoy and have a Merry, Merry Christmas.